going on, guys? Welcome back to Clay's Coins. I believe competence creates confidence, so I'm here to bring you some information, education, and better understanding of cryptocurrency and the stock market. Today, we're talking about the big dog, Shiba Inu. Yeah, I know, right? This is a coin I never talk about. I'm rather sworn off the quote-unquote meme coin trend, but SHIB is doing numbers like right now as we speak. This and then two other altcoins that, of course, I was looking at last night, thought about adding to my actual portfolio, just put them in my watch list, and now they are exploding. So, I'm going to show you guys those two little microcap altcoins, plus a few of the other ones that I was putting in my watch list just to check on. I'm going to tell you guys, we're not going to go through them and go over a bunch, just because I want to keep this video relatively short. But, I'm definitely going to tell you guys because I picked out probably, I don't know, 7 to 8, maybe 9 different cryptocurrencies last night, just going through. Cryptocurrencies you can get right on Coinbase, nothing crazy. And, of course, 2 of them that I didn't pick up went ballistic. So, we'll take a look. Real quick, guys, check that little thumbs up button right there. Is that lit up blue? If not, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button too if you haven't already, and the bell notification so you never miss an update. Thank you, guys. Alright, guys, so just to show you what I was doing last night, real quick before we get into SHIB, because as you can see right here on coinmarketcap.com, SHIB is up 21% on the day. This is a cryptocurrency with an $8.3 billion market cap, and it is up that much on the day. That's wild. That's a big move for that big of a cryptocurrency. But last night I was going through CoinMarketCap looking for relatively easy to access cryptocurrencies to bring you guys, and so you don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops or doing anything that might seem like it has a learning curve to it to access them. So I was looking through and I was filtering to see which cryptocurrencies had not really had a pop in the last month, because most have. As you can see, Aptos up 344%, and this is a top 100 cryptocurrency. That's a top 27 cryptocurrency, and it's up over 300%. You guys know how I feel about that. I try to stay away from the ones that are literally in the midst of a pop, because the chances of you catching another one mid-pop are really low. But, you know, if you can find one that it hasn't hit yet and really ride that wave up, that's the best case scenario. So I was filtering, looking at different cryptocurrencies that hadn't been up much on the 30-day or the 60-day, and then I was also comparing that to their volume versus market cap ratio, meaning how much money is being traded in that asset in the last 24 hours compared to the entire value of the asset. Generally, that means if there's a lot of money coming in and out, there's a lot of trades being made, meaning there's going to be a lot of price fluctuation up or down. So I was just looking through, went through about 600-700 cryptocurrencies, you know, page by page, looking at these, and picked out a few. SHIB was not one of them. We're going to go to Shiba Inu right now because we got to take care of the big dog. As you guys can see right now, at the time of this recording, Shiba Inu is up 22.34% on the day. 234, that's kind of cool in the little percent there. However, there's a big indication why. Look at that volume right there. This is exactly the thing I look for. This is something that's not that crazy. This isn't a bunch of technical analysis you have to get into. These are just numbers and patterns for you guys to find and identify and then look at. Obviously, I casted out a pretty broad net with the attributes I was looking for. However, I was able to narrow down, like I said, right, you know, just under 10, and 2 of which absolutely flew off the handle. So I didn't buy all of them. Sadly, I didn't buy the 2 that flew off the handle, but Shiba Inu has $1.6 billion in volume coming in the last 24 hours, up 250% from the previous 24 hours. You can actually see on centralized exchanges is where we saw the most money, and that's $1.54 billion being bought of Shiba Inu on centralized exchanges, i.e. Coinbase, Binance, different things like that, Crypto.com, the not Uniswap or PancakeSwap or anything like that. We're talking about real apps, you know what I mean? This is a big time crypto on, you know, centralized exchanges that are rather transparent, and you don't expect to see the big money moves generally on centralized exchanges because people are kind of trying to keep that money decentralized, if you know what I mean. Generally, those big time buys are with cryptocurrency, so it's usually, you know, a great big Bitcoin or Ethereum whale, generally Ethereum. Usually, you'll see a lot of big Ethereum whales buying large chunks of SHIB in Ethereum. And generally, they're going to do that on a decentralized exchange. There's many reasons why. We won't get into that right now, but you guys know. Alright, we're going to look at the chart. I know some of you guys may not know how to do a lot of charting. However, this is definitely something you want to look at and pay attention to. And these Fibonacci levels right here were in place when I opened this. I've had these in place for a long time. And you can see we've hit a resistance wall right around here, right around this quad 4.2 mark, quad 4.19. There is a little bit of a sell wall. So when a lot of people buy and it gets to that price, there's a lot of selling pressure for big people taking profits, which is understandable. However, right now, we have broken this first little leg up to go test that, which was the quad 0.13 mark, closing in on the quad 0.14 mark. It's a little difficult to just rattle off numbers like this off the top of my head when we're talking about something that is 0.00001 of a penny. You know what I mean? It's a little different. It doesn't just roll off the tongue when you're talking about. It's not like 3 cents, 4 cents, you know. So quad 0.14 was the wall we had to break through. We did. We shot through it. On the day, you can see these are the daily candles. That's a big candle. So in my opinion right now, do I think we're on a rocket ship? Not necessarily. However, there's always potential with SHIB. There's always that moonshot potential. And if you can see right here, we did have a big rocket very similar to this on August 14th of 2022. So if we can get past this line right here, which was where the last rocket left us, we won't even count the top of the wick, you know what I mean, where that real volume is, where the selling pressure picked up the next day, because regardless of whether or not we have that quick spike up, if it's not sustainable, then unless you're taking quick profits like that, which is very hard when there's a lot of trading bots out there and stuff like that, we're focused on more sustainability. So if we can push up to this quad 0.17 mark, so we'll just call it quad 0.17. If we can get through that quad 0.17, I absolutely think we'll test the quad 0.19. And if we can push through that, we're looking at a price range that we haven't been at since May of last year. And I would say the next resistance wall is probably quad 0.22 after that. So I mean, there's crazy profits still to be made with an $8.5 billion project like SHIB, which is just nuts, guys. So it's not very often that you see, or that we've seen, Shiba Inu do numbers and have daily candles like this with that big of that acute of a run up. And I mean, when you extend this out a little bit, you know, we always trade in triangles. So if you extend out the little run up here, the channel that it's starting to form, along with the little resistance we need to get to, you can see that we're closing in on a pretty decent breakout point right here. Whether or not we're going to see something, you know, a big catalyst happen, or if we're going to find out a catalyst that happened that did cause this big buy. Because if we find something out after the fact, that's probably going to start to drive it down, because, you know, our news cycle is so quick now that people lose interest quickly. It's more of like capitalizing on the fear of missing out and people not really knowing what's going on, but they don't want to miss out on any potential moonshot. So they just pump in and pump in and pump in, and then mob mentality, everyone's thinking the same thing, but thinking there's the only ones that are thinking it, and then you have everyone buying Shiba Inu, and it just drives it up. So we'll see what happens, but let's get into another two cryptocurrencies that are doing, one of which isn't doing as well as SHIB right now. However, it did have a huge spike, and another is starting to head to the moon. The first one is one I've talked about on the channel for a long time, many months. This is one of the day one cryptocurrencies that I used to like a lot, and for good reason. It's built on Ethereum. It's Alchemy Pay, ticker symbol ACH. It's one of the best payment type cryptocurrencies dealing with transactions and behind the scenes utility. A lot of different transaction methods that are used on crypto trading applications are utilized through Alchemy Pay, which is very cool that it actually has real world usage and isn't just a hype project that people can make money off of. This is up tremendously. It's up. It was just up close to 20% on the day. It's come back down to come back down to earth, which is nice. You know, you do like to see, like I said, some sustainability. However, we ran up, you know, from what, 0.015 to almost 0.19, and this is a cryptocurrency that has it has been on my radar for a long time. So I wanted you guys to check this out because I was looking at this last night. I did not pick it up, and it ran up today. So hindsight's always 2020, but check it out right here again, guys. The volume, 62 million has been traded in the last 24 hours, dealing with a market cap of 87 million. So it's no surprise. You're talking about, 16% in 24 hours, grab your bag before it hits 0.2. You get a lot more bang for your buck. You always take financial advice from people who misspell stuff on coinmarketcap.com. Always. Just like, YouTube personalities. This is crazy, though. He did have a good point. Take your profits, dump your bag, do whatever you need to do, and then re-up. You know what I mean? If you don't just hope to sell the top. Let things come up, let them fall back down and correct, because that's what healthy, sustainable charts show, is a big rise up and then a healthy correction and then another rise up. If it just keeps going up and it's too much too quick, the fall is going to be just as drastic, if not worse. So, I wanted to show you guys that real quick, and I will show you the next cryptocurrency, which has been going insane. Measurable data token. This is like the epitome of a day one cryptocurrency on this channel, a day one microcap. Look at the market cap on this. It's only 26 million. That is tiny compared to a lot of cryptocurrency as I talk about. It's only ranked 550 on coinmarketcap.com. Only 25,000 people have it on their watch list. Those are fundamentally great numbers, meaning that not many people are watching this, but look how much money has come in the last 24 hours, guys. Up 1,600% in volume, $67.6 million has come into this cryptocurrency that's only worth $27 million in the last 24 hours. 250% of its market cap has been traded in the last 24 hours. It has shot up on the day from about 2.8 to about 4, and we've seen that a couple different times. If you would have bought this at the beginning of January, about a month ago, for about 0.019, maybe about 2 cents, you would have already doubled your money, and we're currently, as you can just see, running up to test again, because this is hitting a huge resistance wall right now in real time that I need to pull the chart up and show you guys. Okay, here we are on the measurable data token chart, and as you guys can see, this line right here, this is a key resistance point for measurable data token. This 4-cent 2 mark. This is a line that has prevented us from running up and has even shown a flash false breakout in the past. So as you can see, dating back as far as May of last year, we have Thursday, May 19th of last year. We ran up, had a huge run up on the day, and were capped out at right around this 4-cent mark. Then a few days later, June 1st of 2022, we had a massive run up again, and then great big sell-off. It was capped out at the 4-cent 2 mark. In July, just about a month and a half after, we had this crazy imaginary quick flash run up that led to a great big sell-off and false breakout. This is something that absolutely can happen. It's very frustrating on technicals in the moment, but when you look back, it was just kept up by another resistance somewhere else. It was just held out, and we shouldn't have expected in this right here to see something absolutely fly up and not, like I said, not have a healthy correction, because generally when you have something this immediate as you do right here, you're going to have a correction just as immediate, and then the balance, because it's yin and yang. You have this great big run up, the great big fallback, and then you have balance again. It's really cool sometimes how it happens. Since then, we're yet to test it. We had a couple chances, late October, early November, and now, since MDT has fallen to its lowest of a long time, which was the 0.019 mark, we have been on a monumental run-up. All of these candlesticks are days. That's only a few red days in a long time, and then today, we are up. This candlestick is a solid 40%. I mean, does it get better than that? That's insane. As you can see, we are now testing this 0.04275 massive resistance that has held us multiple times since, early May late April of last year. This resistance has been here and has held besides this one false breakout. This is looking really good. If we can continue to push through, my next key resistance mark that I'm watching is actually what used to be my 0% on a fib scale, which is around the 6.9 mark. Nice. Once we hit up to the 6.9 mark, if we are able to push through that, because I mean, we just had a bunch of flashes right here. We had flashes through, and in my opinion, obviously we may form a psychological resistance that doesn't hold well compared to maybe some technical indicators that you might use. It might not be as predictable, but I think this is the next best shot for MDT if we are able to not only get through this resistance, but then once the correction ensues, actually be able to sustain a price above that resistance and flip it into a support line. We'll see, because as you can see, this is a very key mark, and why I wanted to show you guys this, because you can flip a support line into a resistance. Prior to us falling under this was a very key support line. This number is very important to MDT. There's a lot of sell walls and a lot of buy walls, because back in March, you had 3 days where we tested hitting around the 4275 mark. Then once again, you had 3 days at the end of April, early May, where we tested it again before the entire market took another stair step down, and we ended up flipping through, and then it became, after a support line which was keeping us up, now a resistance mark. It's a crazy world we live in. However, when we take advantage of indicators and patterns and try to piece them together and put them in order, sometimes we can come out on top, regardless of the wild cards that we're dealt. So, as I said at the beginning of the video, guys, I wanted to look at, I have Coinbase pulled up right here, and I want to show you guys some of the cryptocurrencies that I was looking at, and this is ridiculous, because Measurable Data Token and Alchemy Pay were both on my list. So, I had Alchemy Pay up 8.5%, Elastos up 84.74%, did not pick that up either. Measurable Data Token, 33.55%. So, this means that I know I didn't pull the trigger. However, I was able to formulate a strategy to construct a net that would give me a certain type of fish. I casted that net out, brought the fish in. Unfortunately, I didn't pick, out of what I caught, I didn't pick the right winners. But the net did its job. I was able to get Audio, down 1.23%, not bad. Assemble Protocol, up 2.23%. Bluezell, up 2.46%. Ren, down 5%. Polymath, up 6.67%. Threshold, down 1.39%. And Status, down 2.97%. All of these, as you guys can tell, just by me reading them off, are down, down just 1 or 2%, or up 5 to 6%. Every single one of them is 20 cents or less. So these are all big, nice flips that I was going to bring you guys, show you guys, looking at which ones I wanted to pick up for, a little riskier plays. And sure enough, I ended up picking up a couple. I won't tell you which. Let me know in the comment section down below which ones you guys think I picked up. I will give you a little hint. I picked up 2 of those. You already know that it wasn't MDT, it wasn't Elastos, and it wasn't Alchemy Pay, because I've already told you that. But let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are checking out any of those cryptocurrencies, or if you found any of the methods that I used useful. This is going to be the end of the video today, guys. I wanted to bring you guys this because it's been a long time since I've talked about SHIB, and it's really cool to be able to talk about Alchemy Pay and MDT, which I talked about at the start of my channel, like over a year ago, and have that still hold true. I mean, some would say that means my content holds up, so maybe go watch some of my older videos, because I specifically said before I stopped and took a little hiatus, that the crypto calls I was making and these whatever will 10x in the next however was when the next bull run starts. If we're starting it to get into an accumulation period, that's going to be a slow, steady, maybe upwards slightly trend, and then hit a bull rally in 2024, You're going to start seeing a lot of the calls I made, even in my older content, aging really well. Not to toot my own horn, but go check them out if you haven't already. Either way, guys, put a flexing emoji in the comment section down below. As you guys know, love you guys. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. It is freezing where I am right now. It's negative 15. With the wind chill, it's negative 43 right now. Stay warm, guys. Thank you.